Yes. Big round of applause for that trailer. I'm going to go on record and say it. This will be the best series streaming.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah.
For so many reasons. In the series I'm speaking of, you just heard a trailer for The Best Man. The final chapters was premiering exclusively on Peacock Thursday, December the 22nd. This is the perfect series to sit around the holidays
Come on.
Yep.
with all of your family members, kids included, because they're going to enjoy this too. Sit down, bond, watch. It touches on so many just dynamics and nuances that families face, that people face, friends face as they grow older in life. It's done in such an amazing way. Shout out to the Malcolm D. Lee.
Yes.
Yeah.
Malcolm Lee.
Round of applause for real. Incredible. Because it's hard to keep doing it at a consistent level, man.
For real.
Yeah. This cast is like a dream team, if you will, of actors who are all in their prime and playing like MJ in the six. You see, my daughter and I watched The Best Man, the final chapters last night together, and I was like, we got to stop watching, because if we watch the whole season, we're going to be disappointed that we ain't got nothing to watch next week.
You're going to be hungry.
Watch it again.
We're going to watch it again. They done an excellent job. Let me see. Tay Diggs, Regina Hall. Round of applause. Sanaa Lathan.
All the greats.
Nia Long.
Yep.
How do you say Harold's last name?
Harold Perrineau.
Okay, and Melissa.
Melissa DeSouza.
DeSouza.
And T. Howard, you get Terrence Howard in there?
Terrence Howard, who never ages.
Yes.
None of them do.
Who I had the chance to, co-star with him in Empire a few episodes.
That's right. That's right.
We went back and forth in a few scenes. We'll talk about that later. That's not why I'm here. Right now, I want to introduce a brother, man, that I feel like I went to high school with, Heather B. I watched this man grow up, although I might have went to high school a little sooner than he did. But
I think I'm before you. I'm pretty sure I went before you.
Okay, it doesn't matter. We're not going to do that. We're at a place in life where it really doesn't matter.
Right.
Okay,
Good point.
The Game Plan. Under Siege 2, Dark Territory. He played Ricky in Boys in the Hood. I can name all the things he's done. He's about to reclaim his title as sexiest man alive when you see this series.
Let's get it.
I want to welcome my brother back to the show. Give it up for the one and only Morris Chestnut.
What's up?
Welcome back, family. Yes.
Thank you. That's interesting.
Have you ever we know you as the amazing actor that you are. Don't forget The Best Man, the final chapters premiering
December 22nd.
on Peacock.
Sorry, we not in Morris and Sway's living room, y'all. We gotta go.
Which, like I said earlier, is an amazing film. Series. What I can appreciate someone who has that audacity or that privilege or that freedom, and you could put it all on the line. Then you're living uninhibited in thought. That's a great place to be at. In some places or sometimes. I'm curious to you've ever held back yourself during your career on speaking on issues or topics publicly?
All the time. I mean, I rarely speak out on interviews or topics, quite frankly, because a lot of the times I think people may want to know about me, maybe what I'm eating, or but I stay away from hot button issues, things to where it's only natural for people to just have a different perspective. Everybody doesn't think the same.
Right.
And, you have a certain number of people voted for Biden. You have a certain amount of people voted for Trump. And certain things that you're going to say that you can say to where you can have literally 2/3 of the population, a third, a half, 40%, 50% of the population disagree with you, and all of a sudden they don't want to watch your movies.
Right.
And quite frankly, and honestly, if I'm watching sometimes sometimes I don't really want to know what a person thinks. You know, I don't want to know. I want to keep enjoying them for
Their
their art for
yeah.
whatever it is that they do. You know, and sometimes it could tarnish it. It's like another thing is like even like being an actor. You mentioned you know, being the sex symbol or whatever that is. Sometimes it's best not to meet people because I don't feel that you can ever really live up to the image that someone may have in you. So sometimes it's just best not to say anything.
You know what I'm wondering? Does acting, being inside all of these different characters, does it help you to understand other people's perspectives easier? Does it help you with like forgiveness?
Without a doubt, because what it does is, and a lot of people don't realize, that's a great question, because when we get a script, you know, the whole thing with action, what's our motivation? But that's really what you do. It's like, well, why is this person saying this? When you're breaking down the script, why is this person? You're looking for what you want from the other person, and you're looking at how the other person is giving you an obstacle. And then once you find that out, then you have to determine, okay, well, why do you want this, and why is the other person giving you that obstacle? And so it really helps you to think and understand different perspectives. That's why Hollywood in general, when you talk to producers and directors of projects, they'll have a wealth of knowledge, not just because they're smart people. It's because when you get a character, if you play a lawyer, now you're trying to figure out, how did this person become a lawyer? They went to law school, they did this. You play a doctor, so you're listening, and you're learning about different people, different aspects of different careers.
Yeah.
And so you, over the years, you really think, like, I'm a very introspective person. I'll sit and watch, and I mainly just think. I'm always, until this interview, the quietest person in the room. Yeah. I think I'm talking the most in this interview.
It's good though.
I think I'm talking the most today because, and I always tell my son and my daughters, like, if you go into the room and you're talking the most, you're learning the least. And people are learning all about you, and you're not learning anything about them.
Right.
You know, it's okay to pull back and let somebody else talk. Let somebody else have, you know, that stage or whatever it is. Because to me, you know, even still, like, I've learned things, you know, within this last year about people and things that I never would have thought. I never would have thought. I just couldn't understand why people said some of the things that they do, or they do some of the things that they do.
Morris Chestnut is here, man. I'm loving this. Your son. I saw a picture of you and your son. I got confused to who was who.
No, let me say this though. No, there is one picture on the internet that is not my son, but people are saying it's my son. And so I don't know which
your son. Pull your. I know you got something.
Billie Jean.
And
yeah.
While you pulling that up,
yeah.
I'm curious because when I watched this series, I saw everybody. I felt like y'all were on the playground.
Right.
I really felt like y'all were on the playground, and it's the chemistry and the acting. I can honestly say I don't know if I've seen a better. I don't know if it's ensemble of cast.
Yeah.
Ever. Like it's like the dream team of. Was that the sense on set?
Yes. So the one thing about us, I mean, when we get on set, it's a nightmare for the producers and the directors.
Okay.
Because nothing gets done. Like that day, if they had 4 scenes scheduled, we're probably only going to get to 2. Because it's really hard because we're all talking about everything and we all genuinely get along. As a matter of fact, I don't think maybe there's like 1 or 2 skirmishes throughout all the times that we've been together, and those got resolved rather quickly. But it's really like being on the playground. And actually, it was toughest for me because in the Best Man Holiday, all my emotional scenes is when everybody is there. Like when I was at the funeral site, everybody is there. So in between scenes, everybody's laughing and talking and everything. I got to put on my headphones and go in the corner and be like, I can't participate in everything. And the same thing in the original when I was getting married. All of us were there. So it's the same thing. Everybody is having fun, but that's the day that I have to be focused. We all have our moments, but it's really fun. It's like just hanging out with each other and having fun doing what we love to do.
Blessing.
Yeah, Black Hollywood stock just went up 100% when people see this. This is incredible. I want to see y'all do more. Hollywood in general.
Thank you, man.
Hollywood in general, but I specifically that because we telling a lot of great stories. And that's what my daughter was like, Daddy, I love Nia Long's character. What's her profession?
Yeah, she's a journalist.
She's a journalist.
Yeah.
She's a journalist.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's true.
Tay Diggs is a writer.
Is a writer,
You're an athlete.
Yeah.
Everybody has these professions, and my daughter said, "I'm glad they're doing this because I was inspired by it all along."
Yeah, the arts.
Each step of the way, and seeing folks in these positions, and to me, that even adds to the allure.
Yeah.
And honestly, that was one of the things I think when we came out with the very first one. It was we had all of these characters who were very progressive. They were affluent, young, and black, and pursuing careers that at that time it wasn't as prevalent as Hollywood showing us pursuing these types of careers and having this type of influence. And so I think that is one of the reasons why the first one was so successful, because it was refreshing to see that.
Yeah. I know there's some embargoes on what we can and cannot say.
Okay.
I don't remember what they are.
Okay, let's go for it. Let's see it. Trust me, they're gonna let us know. So trust me. Let's go
Start
for
them
it.
out slow.
I saw your naked ass.
Okay.
Sway.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
Wow.
That's a commercial.
I didn't want to see it. I'm not saying that, Heather. But
you can't say. I can say this though. You guys want to know? You guys want to know the truth?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the truth. That was my naked. No, it wasn't. No. So here's what happened. So we got the script, and so the first scene in the show, I'm kind of like, I'm there in a robe. I think I was originally naked when I came to the door. I said, well, can I at least have a robe?
Yeah.
So I had a robe. That scene with my naked ass wasn't my naked ass.
That wasn't yours.
No, that
They
wasn't
did
me.
a double.
Yeah, it's about
They
it.
did a
Everybody-
double.
Did you get
Yeah.
to pick it? Were you
I did
able
not
to
pick it. I did not have a say in picking it.
Morris,
but I
come
was just
pick
like,
the ass.
It was a scene. It was like so I had a robe, and what people don't know is I'm a shy person. I mean, I don't
Okay.
really, I don't really. It's like there's only one picture I think on my Instagram with my shirt off, and I didn't put that up. The social media team put that up. I'm not out there like that.
You're not that dude.
Wow.
I'm not that dude. And
Wow.
so when they were like, oh, now you got to be naked and hop in the pool, I was like, oh, man, come on. And they were like, I was like, yo, we need a body. They said, you're not in shape? It's no, I'm in shape.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be naked in front of people. I mean, there's a whole bunch of people.
Good for you.
And
wanna
we were
go
at a
viral.
resort.
It's
yeah,
so funny
so-
to me that you're saying all of this, because you asked me how does Sway get embarrassed, and how, because Sway's shy in that way as well.
Oh,
And
yeah,
it's
I'm very-
fascinating to me that two men sitting here that literally walk outside with name and face recognition across the world is like, no, not me. I'm trying to live low.
Yeah.
And I witnessed that firsthand. I ran up on Morris in the airport.
What?
Yeah, he was so nice to me though. I scared the shit out of him, but he was so nice to me because you were coming from the Super Bowl, I think, and I was like, Morris. He's like, huh? And I was like, hi. So he was like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, my son. I took him to the game,
Yeah.
but you were really nice, and
Thank you.
I always say that about you because sometimes people don't know, because not everybody
Yeah.
will run into you or run into famous people in airport, but you stop, you talk, you're like, how you doing? Did you enjoy the game? And I thought that was cool, but I literally walked away thinking, does he not know he's famous? Like, you just casually strolling through the airport, people are gonna see you.
Well, I see it. So with that, so here's my thing when I'm not, I see it all as work. You know, I'm having a good time
Yeah.
with you guys right
Yeah.
now, but
Yeah.
I'm working because I got all the studio and everybody over there
Right.
with guns to my head, telling me what I can say and what I can't say.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
but
Right.
but I see it as work. But when but that's what I do for work. Because people say, well, how can you be an actor and still be shy and not? And it's still tough for me. A lot of it is getting in front of cameras and all that stuff is really still tough. But
Wow.
we all do things, or we probably all have done things that we didn't want to do. We're not as comfortable doing, but we do it for what we do it for.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and that's what it is for me. Which is one of the reasons why I'm not always out at every event, every club. I'm not
Right.
every award
Yep.
show. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I'm at home. Most of my days, literally, I'm the most boring person in the world. I'll go to the gym and then I'll come home, and that's it.
Wow. So you're not like, I feel like Lance throws himself into the fire of objectification. And it does it get weird, like the way women have just been like on you for decades?
Well,
You
you know,
know-
it's funny that you said that. You
Yeah.
feel that Lance throws himself into objectification, but that was crafted. Every scene that I've done, even like so in the Best Man Holiday when I come out in the robe, Malcolm was one. He said, "Hey, Morris," he said, "you got to get in shape because we're gonna have this scene." I was like, "Okay." When I read this, it was like the first. I didn't even know that I was going to be naked at the pool or naked when I open up the door, but
Yeah.
I'm going to say, okay, I'm reading that stuff for the very first time. So that's what the character is, but that's just definitely not me, not at all. You will rarely see me, well, no one would ever see me without a shirt on. You know, even like I say, there's one picture on a photo shoot I did on my Instagram with me without a shirt. I'm never volunteering
To do that.
Yeah.
Sway
To
either.
wear job- yeah.
Yeah, man. And I could too, Morris, if I wanted to. This is just for the record. Just for the record, man.
A humble, good-looking
So,
man. Wow.
okay, because I was going to ask you, how did you get in shape and the whole nine? I know you got a trainer, right?
Oh yeah. So listen. So I will say this. I could have done the scene.
Yeah.
Because I stay in shape, and the one thing I will say is that. So being in shape regularly on a regular basis and being in film shape are two different things. You know? So yeah. Oh, most definitely. So I have to really tune in my diet when I do that. Like
Film shape.
Oh yeah.
You gotta
What's the
lose-
difference? Yeah, like
So I'm generally in shape. I go to the gym, every day, and I work out quite a bit. However, my diet fluctuates and my cardio fluctuates.
Okay.
So most of the time when if I have to do a shirtless scene, I'm doing cardio in the morning and at night. And my diet's a little bit dialed in.
Yeah, the muscles got to poke.
Yeah,
Okay.
you got to trim the fat.
Sway tapped out, Morris, at that point.
Yeah, tapped out.
Hey, don't you got to go?
Morning and night, Sway.
Morning and night.
He ain't talking about the bathroom either.
I can give you something easy. All you got to do in the morning when you very first wake up, do 30 minutes of cardio on an incline.
Okay.
And on an empty stomach. Maybe you can drink some water. Maybe you can drink some coffee.
Yeah, you like
and then,
doing that.
Yeah, I do. I do
right.
that. Yeah.
And so then when you do it at night, don't eat after 7 o'clock.
Okay.
And then do the same thing.
What if you go to bed at 3 a.m.?
Then you got it.
Still got to hold on.
You gotta
right?
hold on. All right. You gotta hold on.
Hold on.
Hold on. So you go to bed at 3. What time you wake up?
Probably about 5:30.
Oh, so you don't
Six.
sleep?
Yeah,
Six,
he's
six,
bugging
six,
all the
six.
time. He just
Okay.
got off a flight.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Because of you. I was like, I got to come back for more.
Oh,
I was
appreciate
like,
you, bro.
come
Appreciate
on,
you,
man.
man.
Hey,
Nah,
listen, bro. I'll say this, man. You've been in our lives
Yes.
for decades.
For
man.
real.
And
No,
it's
thank
like
you,
you the
man.
homie. I ain't saying this like,
Nah.
you've been inspiring us for decades, man.
Thank
I
you,
remember
man.
where
Thank
I
you.
was when I first saw you on screen, and to still be where I am today. You
Brother,
part of that
congrats.
inspiration.
For
Thank you,
real.
man.
And you are
Thank you. Thank you.
very
And you part
nice
of my
citizens.
inspiration.
He
Yes.
is so nice
And
off camera as well.
And y'all kick me out. I do want to say this because I just do want to make it clear because we are in a social environment. I didn't know that was that deep, so I apologize. Seriously, and this is all seriously.
this is good.
Yeah, I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure.
You have been
I
the
just wanna make
only
sure.
person to interview Sway about this.
No.
He's
Okay,
turned
okay.
down 11 years worth of interviews.
Really?
You're the only
Have I
person.
been the only person to say that to you?
No,
okay,
I said
yeah,
that's
to
every
go with
day.
the conversation.
Because that was a
Ricky.
gag.
No,
That was a
Ricky.
joke.
But
Yes,
you,
yeah,
but you
that was a joke. That was a
extended.
joke.
I think you are the first person to extend it to a point where, like he said, he has closure and was comfortable man to man to look you in the eye and have the conversation. With.
Okay,
Man to
cool. I
man,
appreciate
dog.
you, man. I
Man to
appreciate you,
man,
dog. I
dog.
appreciate you, man.
We'll turn all this
And
shit
then,
off.
and then media take it and pull it apart and make it something that ain't for the headlines and the metrics.
Exactly.
You know, and
Exactly.
so
That's
just-
why I want to make it clear. That's why I
Yeah.
wanted to make it clear before I left.
I
Before y'all
protect
kick me out.
I
No.
protect that moment. Let that moment be where it is in time. So him and I be great. We'll see each other, and hug and laugh, but we haven't. But there's no reason we can't have communication about the way you did it. Made it really nice anyway, Morris Chestnut.
Thank you, man. I
Tracy,
appreciate
I don't
that.
know if we're going to get to the mystery sack because he has to go.
Yeah,
Right?
Me too. I gotta go to work.
Team? All right, yeah, okay. Then look at your team. They smile, but I don't believe none of your smiles at all.
No, I can tell you those are just, the only thing with the smiles is they probably want me to get out Peacock on December 22nd.
That's right.
The Best Man, the final chapters on Peacock December 22nd.
Yes.
If you don't have Peacock, go subscribe now.
There you
it's
go.
only 5 cents. Oh, it's not 5 cents. No.
$5.99,
It's $10. It's $10.
$10.99.
$10 on Peacock.
It's
Go
worth
get it. Go
There you
subscribe
go.
to it. Go
And
subscribe
Morris
now.
has all beautiful fly women working with him.
That's
behind
what
the
I'm saying.
scenes. Let that be noted as well.
Five of
That's
them.
dope.
And so do I.
And so do you. So does Sway.
Yeah.
So does Sway.
All right.
Women, we up this year.
We up, right?
Re-up.
Yeah. Hey, The Best Man, the final chapters, like he said, Thursday, December 22nd on Peacock. Make sure
Yes.
you check it out. Morris, thank you for your
I
conversation
appreciate you,
today,
man.
man.
Always,
Absolutely,
brother, on
You
everything,
already
even
know.
off weight, even off. I appreciate you, man.
Absolutely, man.